पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. With the abundant blessings of our Kriyava, we have been continuing with our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We stopped with shloka number 31 last evening. We continue with shloka number 32. So far, Bhagavan has been explaining the importance of Atma Vidya and the significance of Atma, so that Atma, Anatma, Vivekam, the discrimination between Atma and Anatma, will become clear to Arjuna. So from that point of view, he mentioned three comments at the beginning of his discourse. He said, Anarvya Jushtam, Asvargyam, Akirtikaram. Now, Anarvya Jushtam, that is not suitable for an honorable person. That is what has been explained so far. An honorable person would analyze properly and take a proper decision. Now, Atma, Anatma, Viveka, you have not analyzed properly. So, Anarvya Jushtam. Next is Asvargyam. Now, he has come to that point. Yadrikshaya chopapannam swargadvaramapavritam sukhinah kshatriya partha shlabhante yuddhamedrisham. Yadrikshaya chopapannam. By chance, you have reached this point. Which point? Swargadvaram apavritam. Apavritam means open. Avritam means closed. The door to Swarga has been left open for you. By chance, you have reached this state. That is, if you die, you will go to Swarga. If you live, you will attain the Rajya. So both ways you are lucky. That he is going to say again. So, a warrior who fights a dharmic battle and dies will reach Swarga, Veera Swarga. So that is what he is saying. Edirchayacha upapannam Swargadvaram apavritam. The open gate to Swarga you have attained by chance. You didn't plan for it. This war itself was not planned. It came because of Duryodhana's adamant attitude. Sukhinaha kshatriya partha labhante yuddham idrisham. Idrisham yuddham. This kind of battle, kshatriyaha sukhinaha labhante. Those kshatriyas who are destined to get comfort, those kshatriyas who are destined to be comfortable, they attain, they get this kind of opportunity to fight this battle. Not everyone. Not everyone gets this kind of battle because this battle is purely between dharma and adharma. There are battles fought by kings for annexing other kingdoms. There you cannot say it is exactly between dharma and adharma. That is also part of Kshatriya's duty. To annex other kingdoms is not wrong for a Kshatriya if the other person is weak. There is nothing wrong with that. Shastra allows that. But this is not that kind of battle, isn't it? This is a battle for getting Rajya, no doubt, but based on dharma and adharma. So, idrisham yuddham, this kind of battle, only those Kshatriyas who are destined to become comfortable, they get. Sadharmam apichavekshya navikampetum arhati dharmyadhi yuddha shreyonyate kshatriyasya navidyate yadrikshaya chopapannam sargadvaram apavritam sukhinaha kshatriya partha लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्. नेक्स्ट. अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं संग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि. अथ, now always when he is propounding another point of view, which may be a different or opposite point of view, he uses the word atha. Then, what then? Atha chet tvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi. Imam dharmyam sangramam. This dharma yuddha, sangrama means yuddha. This dharma yuddha, this battle for dharma, na karishyasi chet, if you don't do. Tvam na karishyasi chet, if you don't perform this dharma, if you don't participate in dharma yuddha, then what happens? Tataha. Then swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. You will be contracting sin, papam avapsyasi. Why? Because you are leaving swadharma aside. You are dropping your swadharma. And by the way, you are also dropping your fame. Dropping your swadharma will invite sin. And dropping kirti for no reason is also sinful. When for a Kshatriya, kirti is one of the important characteristics, requirements. So, swadharmam kirtim cha hitva. You are dropping, you are abandoning swadharma, you are also abandoning fame. So, you are going to acquire sin. Papam avapsyasi, you will acquire sin. Now, kirti, now Shankara beautifully explains, Mahadevadi samagama nimittam kirtim. What kind of kirti does Arjuna possess? He possesses a fame which nobody else possesses. He fought with Mahadeva, Shiva himself in Kirataarjuniya when Shiva came as a hunter. Before granting Pashupatastra, there was a Leela performed by Shiva where Arjuna had to fight with Shiva. And finally, Shiva granted the Pashupatastra. So, fighting with Shiva, that kind of kirti, who is having? Nobody else is having. So, that kind of kirti fame, you will lose. अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययां सम्भावितस्य च कीर्तिः मरणादतिरिच्यते. Not only that, he says what further is going to happen. Not only you have lost your kirti, you have lost your sadham, so you have contracted sin, you have acquired sin. Then what happened? What further? Akirtim cha api further. Akirtim cha bhutani kathayishyanti te avyayam. Avyayam akirtim, unending loss of fame. Your loss of fame will be endless. Who will be talking about it? Bhutani kathayishyanti. All living beings will talk about your unending loss of fame. You have a good opportunity for getting fame, but that you are losing. Not only you are losing, you are going to acquire akirti. See, losing kirti is one thing. That's what he said in the first one. Now he says you are going to acquire akirti, loss of fame. Why loss of fame? Because you are running away from the battle. In the process of running away, if you get killed, also you will get akirti. If you run away and then protect your life, that also is source of akirti. Both ways you are creating an opportunity for people to talk ill of you. Bhutani kathayishyanti. Sambhavitasya cha akirtihi maranat atirichyate. For one who is sambhavita means honored. When we perform any puja, when we honor a Vedic scholar, we give what is called sambhavana. Even now, that word is being used in Vedic groups. Is honor. Sambhavitaha, one who is honored. You have been honored all along. How you are being honored? Shankara explains, Dharmatma Shoraha Yatyevam Adibihi Gunaihi Sambhavitasya. Not simply honor for a scholarship of Veda or not honor for a particular activity. No. You are being honored because you are a Dharmatma. You have always been following the path of Dharma. Pandavas are known to never swerve from the path of Dharma. This will be the first occasion when you would have swerved from the path of Dharma. So, Dharmatma, Shuraha, you may be Dharmatma, you may not be a very valorous warrior. You are both. Ityevam adibihi gunehi. There are many more such good qualities in you, which people are talking with great admiration. Now all that will go. Dharmatma soraha ityevam adibihi gunehi sambhavitasya. For that kind of honor, honored person, akirtihi maranat atirichyate. Loss of fame is worse than death. Maranat atirichyate. It excels. Atirichyate means it excels. It excels death. Akirti excels death. Better to die rather than get this kind of loss of fame. अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततस्त्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययाम् सम्भावितस्य चाकीर्तिर्मरणादतिरिच्यते नेक्स्ट भयाद्रणादुपरतं मन्स्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वं बहुमतो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अवाच्यवादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं नु किम्. He is dwelling on this subject, this kind, the akirti which he will get. He is dwelling, he is expanding on that subject because he wants to drive home this point that, array, the choice which you have made of running away from the battle, you will lose the fame which you have acquired with great effort throughout your life. All that will be blown to dust in no time. Bhayad ranat uparatam mansente tvam maharathaha. Maharathaha tvam mansente. The great warriors, Maharathas, will think of you. In what way they will think of you? Bhayat ranat uparatam. You have withdrawn from the battle because of fear. Nobody is going to say you withdrew from battle because of kripa, because of compassion. That's a fact that you and I only know. Nobody is going to believe that. Look at the psychology. Look at the psychology which Bhagavan employs in explaining all the aspects. No aspect is left. Even minor, very minor aspects are being touched upon with great compassion by Bhagavan. Bhayat ranat uparatam. You have run away from the battle because of fear. Karnadibhyaha bhayat. Explanation by Adi Shankara. You are afraid of facing people like Karna. That is why you have run away. This is what Maharathas are going to think. Yesham chatvam bahumato bhutva yasyasi laghavam. Who are those Maharathas? Yesham chatvam bahumato bhutva. For those Maharathas, you are a great figure, very honored figure. Bahumataha, very honored. Bahubhihi gunaihi yuktaha yatyevam mataha. That is the explanation. Like we saw in the last sloka. Many characteristics, many qualities adorn you. That is what people have been saying. Bahumataha. You are greatly honored by those very Maharathas who are going to say you have now run away from the battlefield. In the eyes of those Maharathas, Laghavam yasyasi. Laghavam means becoming small. Laghu is opposite of Guru. Guru is large, Laghu is small. Laghavam, smallness. You will become small. Yasyasi, you will attain. You will attain the infamy of becoming small in the eyes of those Maharathas who are considering you great because of your great qualities. Dharmatma, Soraha, ityadi. And what else will they do? Avachyavadaschava bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha. Tava ahitaha. They are very happy. They are not worried about your welfare. They are worried about your, they are interested in your ahita, in your ill, in your difficulties, in your ill state. Hita is good state, well-being. Opposite is ahita. So if you fall down into an unfavorable state, they are very happy because they are interested in that. Tava ahitaha avachyavadansya bahun vadishyanti. Bahun avachyavadansya. Avachyavadan means something which is unspeakable. The words they will speak, I cannot tell you now. Those kind of words they will use. Look at the extent of detail which Bhagavan goes into. Bahun avatyavadansya vadishyanti. Many such unspeakable words. Avatyavada. Vadishyanti. They are going to speak. This is what is going to happen. Because they are not interested in your welfare. They are not interested in your well-being. They are not going to say, Arey, such a great warrior. He developed cold feet at the last minute. Very unfortunate. They will not talk in that language. They will say, Arey, this fellow unnecessarily got good fame. All these days, we were wrongly thinking. Now we know his real form. Covered. He has run away from the battle. This is what they will say. अवाच्यवादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तः तव सामर्थ्यं निन्दन्तः. They will criticize, they will ridicule your capability. Now capability, samarthyam, that also Adi Shankara explains nicely. Nivata kavachadi yuddha nimittam. What is your capability? For fame, he said Mahadevadi. You met Shiva on the battlefield. For Samarthyam, he is bringing in Nivata Kavachas. There was a group of Asuras called Nivata Kavachas in this Pandava's time. And Devendra himself sought the help of Arjuna. Look at that. Devendra himself sought the help of Arjuna in fighting those Nivata Kavachas. And Arjuna went and fought with them and killed all of them. Those Nivata Kavachas had earlier been fighting with even people like Ravana. Ravana defeated them in battle, but Ravana could not kill them. It required Arjuna to kill them. That is his capability. That is the kind of Nivata Kavachadi Yuddha Nimittam Samarthyam. That kind of capability, they will criticize, they will ridicule, they will not talk about Nivata Kavachas. They will say this fellow had no Samarthyam at all. Now we know his real position. Tato Dukkhataram Nukim. Is there anything more miserable, more painful? Is there anything more painful? It's a question. Tato Dukkhataram Nukim. Is there anything more painful than being ridiculed by all these Maharathas who are not interested in your welfare, who are not going to speak a very favorable word about you? They will choose the most unspeakable words and many of them, and they will go on speaking. And you will become small in the eyes of everyone. This is the picture he is painting if you run away from the battle. Now, this is a mundane field. So far, he went to the highest Vedantic realms, Atma, Anatma. Now he has come to the level of the worldly human being. Even from that point of view, from all points of view, your stand is wrong. He is proving that. You are running away from Sadharma, so you are incurring sin. Okay, at least am I able to get good name among my people? No, you will get a very bad name. In all respects, you are failure. भयाद्रणादुपरतं मन्सन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वं बहुमतो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अवाच्यवादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यम् ततो दुःखतरं न किम्. हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम् यत्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्मादुत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः. Having painted the adverse aspects, the picture of the adverse aspects, now he is giving an advice. Having considered all these aspects, the aspect of Atma, Anatma, the aspect of Swadharma, the aspect of attaining Swarga, the aspect of what will happen if you withdraw, what people will say, what the infamy which you will get. Having covered all this, now he is summarizing and saying, Hatova prapsase swargam. If you get killed, you will go to Swarga. Jitva va bhokshite mahim. If you win this battle, you will enjoy this earth. Mahim is earth. You will become the king of this earth if you win this battle. If you die in this battle, you will go to Swarga. So both ways you are in a good position. If you withdraw, what will happen? He has already explained. Tasmat, having explained all the aspects, hence, Kaunteya Yuddhaya Kritanishchayaha Uttishta. Hey Kaunteya, hey son of Kunti, Yuddhaya Kritanishchayaha, having made up your mind to fight the war, Uttishta, get up. Plus you sat down, no? Saying, I will not fight. No, he says, get up and start fighting. Make up your mind, that is more important. Krita Nishchaya is very important. Getting up is secondary. Getting up and not fighting is of no use. Getting up, having made up your mind. Yuddhaya Krita Nishchaya. Having made up your mind, you get up. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this lecture series that Periva had asked me to cover Niti Shatakam in addition to Bhagavad Gita. While discussing Bhagavad Gita, you also cover Niti Shatakam. That was the instruction. And also some of the Subhashitas appropriately. Now, Niti Shatakam is a text written by a Kavi called Bhartrhari. He was a great king. Of course, not much is known, not much is authentic about what we know about him. But whatever we know is that he was a great king, maybe from Ujjain, very great king, very knowledgeable, a great poet. And ultimately, he got fed up with all the royal comforts. He left them aside, like many Raja Rishis have done in the past. He became Raja Rishi, he left the kingdom, and then he went to the forest and performed tapas. And he wrote 3 shatakams, 3 texts, each 100. One is Shringara Shatakam, second is Niti Shatakam, third is Vairagya Shatakam. Shringara Shatakam is about erotics, man, woman. And that is how the world is getting deluded in Maya. He is explaining that. Then the second is Niti Shatakam, where we are now. Niti is policy, dharma. Dharmic policy is Niti. He is giving more than 100, about 106 shlokas under Niti Shatakam. The third is Vairagya Shatakam, the Shatakam which is talking about dispassion. Shatakam which is talking about dispassion, Vairagya. We are going to see Vairagya in great detail in future shlokas. So I picked up a couple of shlokas from Niti Shatakam which have got something to do with the subject we are discussing in this shloka. परिवर्तिनि संसारे मृतः को वा न जायते स जातो येन जातेन याति वंशः समुन्नतिम्. This is one of the shlokas from Niti Shatakam, 96. Parivartini samsare, this world around us is changing constantly, that we have seen before. Nothing is constant about this world, about our experiences in the world. Ko na mritaha va ko na jayate. Who is not going to die, who is not dead, who is not born. That means what? There is a continuous series of birth and death. Somebody is going to die, somebody is going to be born at the same time. At the same time, the birth and death is happening constantly because that is the nature of samsara. Then, sajato yena jatena yati vamshas samunnatim sajataha. He only is truly born. So many people are getting born, so many people are dying all around us. But who is truly born? Whose birth we should celebrate? Yena jatena vamshaha samunnatim yati. By whose birth, his lineage, his vamsha attains greatness, height, samunnatim, heights of glory. By whose birth the vamsha attains heights of glory, he only is truly born. Others are just born, that's all. परिवर्तिनि संसारे मृतः को वा न जायते स जातो येन जातेन याति वंशः समुन्नतिम्. Next is 102. This is very much framed in context of our shloka, as if this is an explanation for our shloka. Of course, these shlokas, some of them are not present in all the versions of Niti Shatakam. That is another aspect. Niti Shatakam has got different versions in different books. The one which I have picked up has got these shlokas. I am using that. Abhimukha nihatasya sataha tirthatu tavajjayothava swargaha ubhayabala sadhuvadaha shravana sukhoso balatyartham. Abhimukha nihatasya sataha. Sataha, a good person who gets killed nihatasya. Abhimukha, face to face in a battle. In a battle, face to face he fight, not running away from the battle. Then that person will not get Swarga. The definition of who will get Swarga in a battle is you should fight face to face and then you should die. Then only you will get Veera Swarga. So he is talking about that. So Abhimukha Nihatasya, one who is fighting face to face and then dying, for such a good person, Tavat Jayo Athava Swargaha Tishtatu, whether he is going to win or whether he will attain Swarga, let it remain. I am not talking about that now. Tavat Tishtatu. He will definitely, the same as what Bhagavan said, he will attain Swarga or he will win the battle. Let that remain. But in the meantime, what is going to happen? When he is fighting, Ubhaya Bala Sadhuvadaha Shravana Sukhosu Balatyartham. Ubhaya Bala Sadhuvadaha. Sadhuvadaha means appreciate. Appreciation from both sides, from his own side and from the opposite side. Ubhaya Bala. Words of appreciation from his side as well as from the opposite side. Shravana Sukhaha, it is so entertaining for the ears. When he himself, when he is fighting the battle, he is going to hear the words of appreciation from his side, army commanders, as well as the army commanders from the opposite side. That will give him Shravana Sukha, pleasure of hearing, pleasure of listening. Asau Shravana Sukha, this kind of Shravana Sukha, Balatyartham, Atyartham means exceedingly. It is going to increase his strength. Bala Atyartham. It is going to increase his strength and he will fight even more strongly now, having heard this kind of words of appreciation. That is immediate benefit. Forget about Jaya and Surga, which are anyway going to come to him at a later stage, even while fighting the battle. So this is the beautiful Niti from our Bhartrihari. अभिमुख निहतस्य सतस्तिष्ठतु तावज्जयो अथवा स्वर्गः उभयबल साधुवादः श्रवण सुखोऽसौ बलात्यर्थम्. Next. Next is Sukha Dukhe Same Krutva Labha Jaya Jayo Tato Yugdhaya Yujyasva Naivam Papamavapsyasi. Now here they advised him to fight, isn't it? Not run away. Bhagavan has advised. So having given that advice, now he is explaining further what he is avoiding, what he is getting. He is giving a balance sheet now. He has told, he has summarized already, you will avoid akirti, you will avoid sin, etc., etc. So he is explaining it further in the field of spiritual advancement. Not only because this is basically a text where we are talking about spiritual advance, Bhagavad Gita. So nowhere is he losing sight of the ultimate goal. So he is coming back to that. He says, सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जयाजयौ ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि ततः युद्धाय युज्यस्व. You make up your mind and fight this battle. With what bent of mind you should fight? Now he is getting into that. You may fight because Bhagavan is telling me, he is not giving me choice. He is forcing me, so I am fighting. Or I have come for fighting, circumstances seem to be not favorable for running away, so I am fighting. There can be many ways in which your mind may be made up. That is not correct. How you should fight. In fact, this fighting, as we have been saying, is only contextual. This applies to any action undertaken by human being. We are constantly acting. There is not even a second when we are not acting. We are acting mentally or we are acting physically. Always. Continue. All our waking hours of content action. How you should act. All those actions, mental as well as physical, how they should be undertaken. This is the advice. So this is not just for Arjuna, this is not just for battle. This is just for all of this explained by Shankara in his commentary very nicely. Sukha dukhe same kritva. While undertaking this activity, you may get pleasure or pain, but you should view with equanimity. Don't get perplexed by pain. Don't get overjoyed when you get pleasure. Neither of these two extremes is good. सुख दुखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जया जयौ लाभ अलाभ. You may get benefit, profit, you may get loss. Loss and profit, benefit and the opposite of it, loss. Both you should look with equanimity. Same kritva is for all this. Jaya, ajaya, victory and defeat. You should look at it with equanimity, with approach of equanimity. Because if you get Ajaya, you will go to Swarga, we have said. That is the incidental benefit he is getting in this particular case. That may not happen to all of us in all our actions. If you get Ajaya, you may feel very bad. You may not get any benefit. But even then, Same Kritva, you should view with equanimity. Very important sloka. This is the whole basis of our approach in Karma Yoga, which he is going to explain again, but he has summarized it nicely in this context. So you should fight your battle with the approach of equanimity in the face of pleasure and pain, in the face of profit and loss, in the face of victory and defeat. If you do that, naivam papam avapsyasi, you will not acquire any sin. If you fight the battle, because he was talking about sin, isn't it? Killing my gurus. You will not acquire any sin. He is giving an assurance. But when Bhishma gets killed, don't feel very happy. Hara, with my hand I have killed such a great warrior. Then this is not Sukhadukkhe Samekritva, that attitude. Similarly, when something else happens on the battlefield which is unfavorable to you, don't feel painful, which is going to happen. Abhimanyu is going to die. So, Naivam Papam Avapsasi, Na Evam, with this attitude, Na Papam Avapsasi, you will not get any sin. The attitude with which Swadharma should be performed is being brought out nicely in this sloka. This is very important, one of the basic slokas of Bhagavad Gita. Now, one of the commentators, I think Madhusudana Saraswati, there are a lot of commentators on Bhagavad Gita. He is quoting Apastamba. Apastamba Sutra, many people are familiar with. He is quoting Apastamba. He says, तद्यथा आम्रे फलार्थम निर्मिते छायागंधौ अनुत्पद्येते एवं धर्मं चर्यमाणम अर्थाः अनुत्पद्यन्ते. What he is saying is, if you plant a mango tree for the purpose of fruit, amre phalartham nirmite, for the sake of fruit, if you plant a mango tree, as a byproduct, you will get shade and the smell, fragrance. Chaya gandhav anutpadyate. You will get the shade and you will get the fragrant smell from the mango as a byproduct. You didn't plan for it. That was not your intention. You get it. Similarly, evam dharmam charyamanam arthaha anutpadyante. Very important. Apastamba is saying this, not an ordinary person. He says, dharmam charyamanam. If you follow the path of dharma, never swerve from the path of dharma. Always stick to dharma, whether you like it or not, whether you think it is correct or not. Like now it happened with Arjuna. He thought it is incorrect. But follow the path of dharma. If you do that, arthaha anutpadyante. Automatically wealth will come to you. Don't go after wealth. Wealth will come to you automatically, even if you follow the path of dharma, even without bothering about wealth. Just as in the case of mango tree, you got shade and the fragrant smell as a byproduct without planning for it. Similarly, wealth will come to you. Very important advice to all of us. Now, I have picked up a couple of shlokas from Niti Shatakam in this context. Sampassu mahatam chittam bhaved utpalakomalam apatsu cha mahashaila shila sanghata karkasham. When something good happens, when something bad happens, what should be your attitude? Sukhadukke tame kritva, he said, na Bhagavan. So this is explaining in a different way. Bhartrihari. When you are facing sampat, when you are facing wealth or something very good, glory, something favorable to you, then satam chittam, great people's mind, bhavet utpala komalam, like lotus or like lily, so soft, their chittam will become, their mind will become so soft, like a lotus or lily flower. That will like a flower, their mind will become small, soft. Means what? They will not acquire arrogance. They will be soft with compassion. Oh, we have got this sampath. This is for giving to others. That kind of humility is characteristic of great people. They are not going to jump with pleasure and fritter away that wealth. They are not going to do that. They will keep that wealth for helping others as a trust given by Bhagavan. That is Utpala Komala. Now, when they face with danger, when they are faced with danger, what will be their attitude? Mahashaila Shila Sanghata Karkasham, same chittam, same mind, which was so soft like a flower, has become Karkasham, very hard. Like what? Mahashaila Shila Sanghata. You take some stones from a great hill, Mahashaila, great hill. From that hill, you pick up stones, Shila Sanghata, and you start hitting with those stones. Hitting one stone with another. Sanghata is hitting. You pick up strong stones from a great hill, you start hitting one stone with another. That kind of hardness your mind will develop. Then only you are great. Mahatam chittam. That means what? When we used to say, when somebody is faced with danger, his mind, he is keeping his mind like a mountain, we say. That is what he is explaining here. Right, hard like a stone. In the case of Sampat, it is soft like a flower. Beauty. Sampattu mahatam chittam bhaved utpala komalam apatsu cha mahashaila shila sanghata karkasham. Further, Raktatvam Kamalanam Satpurushanam Paropakaritvam Atatam Cha Nirdayatvam Svabhavasiddham Trishu Tritayam. Now, he explained what great people will do, what evil people will do, he is explaining, so that we know. Now, we have to choose our path based on the study of what a great man will do, what an evil person will do. रक्तत्वं कमलानां सत्पुरुषाणां परोपकारित्वं असतां च निर्दयत्वं स्वभावसिद्धं त्रिषु त्रितयं कमलानां रक्तत्वं. The red color of the lotus has got an inherent red color. Satpurushanam paropakaritvam, the quality of helping others, paropakaritvam. It's natural with good people, Satpurusha. Like the red color is natural, inborn with the lotus. This is inborn with good people, helping others. Asatam, if you are an evil person, what is common to you? Nirdayatvam. You will be hard-hearted, no compassion, cruel. Cruelty, hard-heartedness is natural with evil people. Swabhava siddham trishu tritayam swabhava siddham. These three examples which I have given. In all the three, tritayam, the three qualities, or swabhava siddham. They are there naturally. You can observe it in nature. So he is telling what you will find around you. What you will find around you, your experiences, he is explaining. In the face of those experiences, you may get sampat and apat. And if you want to be a great person, you should behave like a flower in the case of sampat and a hard stone in the case of apat, which sampat and apat may arise from these various sources which are around you. Satpurusha may be there, asat may be there. So it is natural. So you should understand this is natural. So you should, the right bent of mind you should develop. That is what he is explaining here. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papamavapsyasi. Next is, now he is summarizing what he has said so far. All that he has said so far, starting from 11th shloka up to 38th shloka, he is saying what he has covered. Desha te abhihita sankhye buddhiryoge tvimam shruno buddhya yukto eya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. He is explaining the distinction between Sankhya and Yoga, which we mentioned earlier. Adi Shankara has introduced the subject right in the introduction. Then introduction to sloka number 11, he went into some detail. Then even in the explanation to various slokas, he has been at pains to explain this. So now he is bringing that point. Esha te abhihita sankhe. So far what I have covered, Esha, sankhe, buddhihi sankhe abhihita. The knowledge has been taught to you, abhihita has been told to you. The knowledge which I have told you is in the field of sankhya, is in the field of jnana, analysis. Atma Vidya, Sadharma, etc., etc. All this is analysis. You should use your intellectual analysis and then arrive at these conclusions. That is what I have explained to you. Now, what I am going to explain. Buddhihi yoge tu imam shruno. Now I am going to explain the same buddhi, same knowledge applied to yoga. Your buddhi remains the same. Whatever I have told you is not going to get cancelled. But how to apply it? If you are a jnani, you apply it in a particular manner. If you are not a jnani, if you are a karma kandi, you have to apply it in a different manner. So this is point I am going to. Practical aspects. Buddhihi yoge tu imam shrunu. Yoga is practice. Sankhya is analysis, theory and practice. Buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Because this buddhi is required when you do karma. And when you do karma, there is a karma bandha. The chain which karma binds you with. Any karma binds you with a chain. What is the chain? Punya and papa, the result. Any karma which you do, mental, physical, any activity which you do all your waking up, every one of those activities will produce karma bandha, the bond, the binding quality. The binding quality will result in either punya or papa. You cannot escape them. But I want you to escape this karma bandham. Prahasyasi, you will cross this karma bandha. How? Buddhya yukto yaya. Yaya buddhya yukto. If you use this buddhi which I am going to explain now, you will cross this karma bandha. You will not be bound by the karma. Very important. All of us are worried about punya and papa. Papa, we are definitely worried. Punya, we should worry because for enjoying punya, you have to come back to earth, or you will spend a lot of time in Swargaloka and still you will come back to earth for exhausting your balanced punya. This is what Shastra teaches us. So, in the process of coming back to earth for exhausting your punya, you will also acquire papa. That is natural. That is, mixture is always there on earth. Then, this is the endless cycle of birth and death. That is karma bandha. Now, if you want to cross this, if you want never to be reborn, if you want to proceed on the path of moksha, then you follow the path which I am going to explain. Even when you do karma, that is the point. If you are a jnani, you have dropped all karma, okay, that is different. But you are not a jnani, you are a karma kandi, you have to do karma because that is your nature. Because nature can, that he is going to explain. Nature cannot be overruled in a short time, overcome. So proceed as per your nature. Your nature is to do karma. So how you should do your karma? That I am going to explain to you. So far I have explained to you the path of analysis, jnana, sankhya. Yesha te abhihita sankhya, buddhiryoge tmam shruno, buddhya yukto yaya partha, karma bandham prabhasyasi. Now, Adi Shankara beautifully explains this in his commentary. Sankhya, paramartha vastu viveka vishayaha. What is Sankhya? What is the analysis? Paramartha vastu viveka vishayaha. Discrimination of how to attain Paramartha, how to obtain our supreme goal. That has been taught to you. Yoga, that prapti upayaha. Goal is the same. How to get it? When I do karma. That is yoga. Jnanam shoka mohadi samsara hetu dosha nivritti karanam. What is the jnana which is indicated in Sankhya? Shoka mohadi samsara hetu dosha nivritti karanam. Again and again he is coming to the same point. We have to get out of this samsara. And samsara is caused by shoka moha. Because of grief and delusion, we come back to the samsara again and again. And for that, to get out of that, you need jnana. That is what has been taught to you. Now I am going to teach you karma yoga. Now he says, even by doing karma yoga, you will get moksha. Karma bandham prahasyasi means you will get moksha. Isn't it? You will get out of karma bandha by following the path I am showing you. So it means he is assuring moksha even in the very first shloka, even in the introduction. So that Shankara is explaining nicely. Karma yogam stauti prarochanartham. Don't get carried away exactly by the words which Bhagavan is uses to heighten the interest of the listener. To heighten the interest of the listener, to make the subject attractive. That is prarochanartham. For that he is saying, you will cross karma bandha. That does not mean that you will not cross karma bandha. It means it is not so easy. But he is making it look easy, make it attractive. That is Bhagavan does. Karma bandham, karma eva, dharma dharmakyaha bandham. What is karma bandham? Dharma adharma, like I explained. Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana praptya. How he is promising this karma bandha? When you do karma bandha is going to happen. That we all know it. Karma bandha is a necessary fruit, necessary byproduct of karma, that bondage. Now he is promising that you will cross that. How? Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana praptya. By receiving the jnana which comes to you by the grace of Ishvara. If you do your karma with this attitude, is a beautiful explanation. The attitude is very important when doing karma. If you do it with the attitude which I am going to explain to you, then Ishvara will become pleased and he will grant you jnana. You may not acquire jnana because you are not a jnani. You are not born with jnana. Jnanis are a separate category. They are born with jnana. They are following the path of jnana. They will go ahead. You are a karma kandi. You are basically destined to do karma. Your nature is to do karma. But I am promising you will also get in the same moksha with the jnani gets. So, because when you do this karma with this attitude, which I am going to explain to you, Ishvara will become pleased, not because of your qualification. Look at this subtle point. Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana praptya. Because of Ishvara getting pleased, you will get jnana. And once you get jnana, you are on the same track like the other jnani and you will reach moksha. Okay. Now, next question is there any lack of safety in this karma marga? That he is answering. Neha vikramanasosti pratyavayo na vidyate solpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Iha, in this karma marga, abhikramanashaha na asti. There is no loss of effort. Abhikrama is beginning. You have begun a activity, you are left with halfway. This happens to all of us, isn't it? Shankara has beautifully explained it with the example of Krishi, agriculture. In agriculture, if you start something, you have to follow it through. If you sow your seeds, you have to water it, you have to remove all the evil growth around it, etc., etc. Till you get the crop, there are many stages. If you leave your effort at any stage, you will not get the food crop which you are planning. This is a very common knowledge. You cannot say, I have done the sowing of the seed, I have done my job, now I will get the crop. You cannot say that. Is there such a problem with this karma marga which you are explaining? That is, I am not very proficient in karma marga. I have started developing that attitude, but I have not fully developed the way you are explaining. Will there be any loss for me having started on this path? No. If you have started on this path, not like agriculture, there is no loss for you. Any start is good for you. That assurance is given. Okay. Next is pratyavayaha. That means having started and left halfway, will there be any adverse effect? One is the loss of effort. The effort which I have put in has gone to loss, like in the case of agriculture. There is no adverse effect, but you have lost your benefit of yours there. So that will not happen. Whatever benefit has accrued to you will stay with you. Now, will there be any adverse effect because I have stopped? For this, the example is tikitsa. Now, look at the examples which Shankara gives. Tikitsa is medicine. Now, they say antibiotic you should take for 5 days. I have taken for 2 days and stopped. Then what happens? Then I contract the same disease, the disease doesn't go. Now the doctor says, no, you have made a mistake. You start all over again, another 5 days. So this is what happens with medicine. This example is given by Shankara himself. With chikitsa, you have to follow the procedure given by the doctor. Even in those days, even in Ayurveda, there is a procedure. You have to follow that procedure through. You cannot say halfway I have stopped and then I will expect the benefit. In fact, it may result in adverse. It may cause you harm in the case of medicine. But here will it happen? No. There is no harm to you. I am giving you assurance. You proceed. You proceed. No harm will accrue to you if you leave it halfway. And if you leave it halfway, whatever benefit you have accrued will stay with you. Two assurances. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayate. Swalpamapi asya dharmasya. This dharma which I am going to explain to you. Swalpamapi, even a little bit. Well, I have to cross 100%. I have crossed only 2%. Swalpamapi. Even then, trayate mahato bhayate. Mahato bhayate trayate. It will protect you from the great fear. Great fear can be anything in life, but normally what Shastra considers as great fear is death. Death is the greatest fear for a human being. So, Even the fear of death, you will not get. If you have traveled even 2% on your goal, karma marga. We are not talking about jnana, we are talking about karma marga only. Karma yoga. So even in karma yoga, if the goal is 100% karma yoga, I have achieved only 5%. Even then, I will not get the fear of death. Why? Because I have already cultivated my mind to that extent. The cultivating process of my mind has already started. It has started yielding fruit. Because he has said, Neha Vikramanashaha Asti. Whatever fruit has acquired to you will stay with you. So that fruit which has acquired, which I have acquired, will stay with me and will help me in getting rid of the fear even of death. Mahata Bhaya always is interpreted as Samsara Bhayat, Janma Maranadi Lakshanat, even as per Shankara. Even as per all Vedanta texts, this is the interpretation. Now Shankara is confirming that. Samsara Bhayat, Janma Maranadi Lakshanat. Samsara, which is characterized by repeated birth and death, that fear of samsara also is included in this protection. That protection cover, that life insurance covers this risk also. Now, I will go to Subhashitas in this context. There are a couple of Subhashitas which I have taken up to explain this particular concept explained in Sloka number 40. One is Anugantam satam vartma krishnam yadi na shakyate solpamapyanugantavyam argastho navasedati. The Subhashita Kar has explained it in the same manner but in his own way. Satam vartma krishnam anugantam yadi na shakyate. Satam vartma, the path followed by great people, krishnam, 100%. Anugantam yadina sakyate. If you are not able to follow it 100%, the path laid down by great people, if you cannot follow 100% fully, swalpamapi anugantavyam, even if you follow a little bit, swalpamapi, margastho navati dati. If you have taken the path, you will not grieve for it. You will not feel sorry for it. Even if you have succeeded only a little bit. Same Abhikramanashaha is explaining that. Similarly, another sloka from Subhashitas. Akritva parasamtapam agatva khalanamratam anutsrijya satam margam yet swalpam api tadbahu. What you should do for this karma marga, he is explaining in a different way. Which Bhagavan is going to explain, but he is explaining in a different way. Akritva parasantapam. Do not do anything which is harmful to others. Take care of that. No harm to others. Agatva khalanamratam. Don't go and fall at the feet of evil people. Don't show your humility, namrata, to khalas, to evil people. Don't show your humility to evil people. Don't fall at the feet of evil people. And do not do any harm to anyone, including evil people. Akritva parasantapam. Para includes good as well as bad. You should interpret it correctly. Only for namratam, he said, agatva khala namratam. Only for showing your humility, showing your reverence, don't show it to evil people, they don't deserve it. Because you may develop that habit. You may develop that evil habit from him by association. You should dissociate yourself from them. But in the case of not harming, because whatever harm you do to others will come back to you. So don't do any harm to anyone. Anutsrijya satam margam yat swalpamapi tadbahu. If you follow the path of great people, yat swalpamapi, even if it is a little bit, tat bahu, it will result in great benefit. Even a little bit of this good path, if you follow, it will result in great benefit. Akritva parasantapam agatva khalanamratam anutsrijya satam margam yat swalpamapi tadbahu. So that is Subhashita. Tesha te abhigita sankhye buddhiryoge tvimam shruno buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate solpamapyasya dharmatya trayate mahato bhayat. We stop with this, and if there are any questions, please ask.
If anyone has any questions, you can kindly unmute and ask. I have unmuted everyone.
I do not have a question, sir, but this is what you're explaining is really, really great. It is excellent. Thank you. I think we have to listen to it multiple times to understand what you're trying to teach us.
That is very true. Very,
Mind
very true.
is, yeah. Many times I want to focus, but mind doesn't let me.
Yeah, listening one time or reading one time is not at all enough, because our mind is so obsessed with so many other notions. We have trained our mind so badly, it is difficult to bring it up to this required state. So it requires frequent and abhyasa. That is going to be explained by Bhagavan himself later on. Yes. So we close for the day and we meet again next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. IST. Next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. IST, we meet again and continue with chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Namah Parvati Pataya Hara Hara Mahadeva Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Shri Mahatripura Sundarye Jaya Jaya. I forgot one point. Today is a very sacred day. Today is the day of Tatanka Pratishtha to Akhilandeshwari in Tiruvanekkaval in Tamil Nadu at the hands of our Acharya Swamiji. I wanted to mention at the beginning, somehow it escaped. So a very sacred day. We are studying this Bhagavad Gita. Very great coincidence. We should feel blessed by Acharya's blessings. He is with his own sacred hands. He is adorning Akhilandeshwari with new Tatankas. Tatanka Pratishtha is happening today between 11:40 and 12. In fact, Srimutam has gone to the extent of saying that those who want to do Karna Vedana, those children whose ears require to be pierced, can use that Muhurta, 11:40 to 12 today, at their homes to do this, such a sacred occasion. So I take leave of all of you with this. We will meet again next Saturday at 7:30 AST.
Thank you all for joining. We hope to see you again next week. Hara Hara Shankara, Jai Jai Shankara.